Now, should the government offer young women incentives to have children to try and combat the falling birth rate? Now, this has apparently worked in South Korea. Since 2006, the country has offered young women subsidised childcare, rent reductions and financial support of up to £29,000 per child. And the birth rate there has risen for the first time in 10 years. In 2023, the UK's birth rate hit a record low. It fell below the level needed to maintain a steady population, and that is the concern. So should we be paying young people to start a family? Is that an incentive? Because we're an ageing population, aren't we? And eventually you think, well, people aren't having the babies.
It sounds so horrendous, paying someone to have a baby. I mean, I agree with we should make childcare more accessible, and, you know, because for a lot of women, they go, well, you know, if I have to give up work for the baby and then I want to go back to work, my wages don't cover childcare. I get all of that. So either bring childcare down or give them some incentive for that. But as far as young people not wanting to have children anymore, all the young people I know, I mean, my daughter's now 23, 24 this year. She's so broody. A lot of her friends have had, you know, have already got children. And so I don't know about that, whether that's the reason it's falling, because young people don't want to do it. I think
the age of new mothers has increased to 31 for mothers, 34 for fathers.
Because we're
and if
working.
you think back, when you were having your children, I mean, I had Jack later in life, but, you know, women were having babies in their 20s. Now they're waiting till their 30s, and a lot of that, Janet, I think, is career-based. Or us in our 40s, yeah. A lot of that is career-based because women now, you know, it's not just a job with a bit of pin money and then you stay at home and look after the kids. It's a career. And they get to a level and they think, I'm not ready to give up yet because I'm building my career. And then they have to make that choice, like, oh, if I give up, like you said, then when I come back, will I be at the same level? So maybe that's why they're waiting.
You have to make having a child an attractive option, because at the moment, women can see that if there's a career opportunity, that's a really powerful drug. And it's something that didn't exist when I started out at work. And obviously I didn't have children because I put my career first. So having children has got to be made easier by bosses and by the government. But it's not just in this country. All over Western Europe, the same thing is happening. The populations have dropped and are shrinking in 2/3 of European countries. And it's all, I think, for the same reason. But in this country, I would say the government has to do something a little bit different. Instead of just paying women to have babies, and obviously I agree with Colleen, they must increase child benefit because they capped it at 2 children. Obviously, if you want people to have more children, you've got to increase it to 3. Instead of moaning it's going to cost so many billion. I mean, that's the way to increase the population. But the other thing is that at the moment we've got 107,000 children in care in this country. 107,000 children being looked after people who are not their parents. Now, for my money, and I speak as a childless woman, I would love to see massive investment in supporting those children and getting them parents. If their birth parents aren't up to the job, make fostering easier.
Do you think it is a difficult process, fostering
It's
and adoption?
And the poor children, when they come out of care as well. There is no money spent on when they come out of care, and they're really falling through the cracks.
Ideally, foster care should be made easier and people should be rewarded better for being foster parents.
I mean, there might be people watching who have chosen not to have children, and for many various reasons, who say, but why should we be funding somebody else's lifestyle? Why should I, you know, if you want children, if you want more children, then you should be funding it, and my tax money should not be funding
on a similar thought process as Janet's, if we in this country could find the money to incentivise people to have children, we can surely find the money to help the 4 million children who are living in abject poverty in this country. You know, there is no money being... you know, as far as the people I talk to who work in those charities, you know, if that money can be found for that, I think there are other things that have to be sorted before we can start incentivising childbirth. I really do.
And also, I agree with you, you've got to offer... You think, look, how many years have we been talking about this, and I go, where are the creches that they promised us? You know, a lot of big businesses, there's so many women in the workplace now. I go, where are the creches? Where are the company-funded, subsidised creches that are not there?
You know what? They are happy to carry on building a high-speed train that takes you from one bit of Britain to another just down the road bit of Britain. And the way I look at it, you could cancel that train and reward all the children who are having a rubbish time at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't done it because it's the macho, you know, the government and Keir Starmer. So Keir Starmer loves big building projects.
It's like we started, so we'll finish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scenario, really.